What's going on, everyone? This is Dr. Aaron. Welcome to 2 Minute Tuesday. Last week, we talked about our crazy idea to run 2 half marathons. In that video, I talked about running as a ketogenic athlete. That comment alone sparked a lot of conversation in the clinic, mainly, what the heck am I talking about? What does that mean? The ketogenic diet means that we are converting our body to run on fat and ketones as fuel instead of carbohydrates or sugar. We have to understand that your body is extremely intelligent. It's going to utilize whatever there is an abundance of in the bloodstream as our fuel source. In the standard American diet, that's going to be sugar or carbohydrates. To understand how a ketogenic diet might play a bigger role in how our bodies adapted over time, we have to understand humans and our relationship to food and how that's changed in modern society. This isn't a shocking piece of information, but if you look around, majority of society is overweight. The interesting part about that is that if you are not overweight in a society that we're in right now, you're really not doing your body justice. You see, there hasn't always been grocery stores. We haven't always been able to just get food when we crave it or go out and get it readily whenever we're looking for it. Our bodies have adapted to accommodate both times of plentiful food and also times of food scarcity. So imagine you're a person living in North Dakota, say 500 years ago. In January of year 1518, I'm willing to bet you're not going to be able to roam around and find fresh fruits. The abundance of carbohydrates just wasn't there, and so most people lived off of animal protein and fat. So in order to maximize the carbohydrate intake that we had when they were available, our bodies did a couple things. Number one, the body has a good feeling reaction to carbohydrates. When we're sad, we eat carbs. It makes us happy. If you look at the dopamine release that happens or the happy hormone that happens when you eat sugary foods, it's definitely there and it's a thing. And that makes us want to eat more. Number two is that when you consume a large amount of carbohydrates, it actually down-regulates the hormone responsible for telling you you're full. What that allows us to do is overconsume in times of plenty, so that our body can take that sugar, turn it into fat, and store it for times of scarcity. And this is where the ketogenic diet comes into place. When carbohydrates are scarce, our body converts itself into running on ketones, which are broken down fat. This topic gets super confusing because when we look at fats as dietary fat and fat as in what's on my body, it's two different things. In order to understand this better, let's look at what is the cycle of stored sugar. For this example, let's just go back to that 500 years ago where I can't just go buy some toaster strudels and eat them whenever I want. Okay, imagine it's the fall. Plant carbohydrates are plentiful and produce is readily available. The way my body is programmed is to eat as much of it as I possibly can while it's available. This allows me to raise my blood sugar, which gives me short-term energy, but the kicker is that when my blood sugar reaches a level that's a little higher than I want, the natural healthy process for my body is to then store it as fat so I could utilize it as fuel later. That is a fantastic idea, especially if I'm going to come across times of food shortage. Now we get into the ketogenic side of things. Imagine it's December and it's winter and it's snowy and there's no plans and we are, be it a stationary society or a nomadic society, we're burning a lot of energy trying to get out of here and find food. Most of the time, the available food that we're going to have is meat and fat from animal sources. Once our bodies run out of sugar, what we do then is we flip and we go into a state of ketosis, which means that our body then breaks down the fat storages that we have and utilizes that as energy. That system works very well if we have these times of abundance and times of shortage. But in our society, we have nothing but abundance. And so the negative cycle is that when we have a constant supply of blood sugar, we have a constant supply of energy, and our body never has to transition into using our body fat storages. So we have an excessive amount of body fat. And as an added negative, when we have large amounts of blood sugar in our system over time, that whole mechanism of storage tends to break down, and then we have actual high levels of elevated blood sugar, and guess what that equals? Type 2 diabetes. So imagine that you're a tanker running on diesel fuel, and you've got a trailer full of gas, and you're pulling it to your nearest station, and you run out of diesel. The irony is that you have so much fuel in the back, but you can't use any of it. That's what being overweight and obese is like. You have all of this fuel that your body could be burning, and it could be using it, but we just don't know how. So how a ketogenic diet works is you drastically decrease the amount of carbohydrates. What this allows us to do is decrease the amount of readily available sugar and start trending your body into using those fat stores as fuel. There are a number of benefits when it comes to the ketogenic diet. The one that most people think about is going to be a decrease in body fat. That means losing weight. it makes sense. If you're burning fat for fuel, you're going to run out of some fat, which is awesome. That on its own is enough to get most people to give it a try. But the overall health benefits, that's what I care the most about. And in this situation, it is being able to adapt to using fat as a fuel and then becoming an endurance athlete off of it, which we'll see how that works. Since I only have 2 minutes today, that's where I'm going to wrap it up. In the near future, I'll put together a video that covers the ketogenic diet from A to Z. That's going to go up onto our vlog. It's going to be on our YouTube channel. I'll be sure to share it on the Facebook page. Guys, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and a share. Please comment below if you have anything you'd like me to talk about in particular. If you have questions, comments, concerns, that's another place you can throw those as well. And until next time, you and your family keep living your apex advantage.